One of the major responsibilities that comes along with having a car, truck, or SUV is the routine maintenance.
Yeah, and we often hear we should be getting an oil change every 3,000 miles. Let your car warm up before driving it in cold weather. But is all of this true? Well, Brian Spiros went to Auto World Services and Accessories in Salisbury, formerly known as the Car Store, to separate fact from fiction.
It's important to pay attention to whatever kind of vehicle you drive, and it goes without saying, routine maintenance is a must.
Just a matter of safety and performance and life of the vehicle.
Brian Bishop works for Auto World Service and Accessories off of Route 13 in Salisbury. He has more than 20 years experience when it comes to servicing cars. So we went to Brian to find out what you should and should not be doing when it comes to maintaining your car. First, we often hear that you should get an oil change every 3,000 miles. But is it true?
Well, you can. It's not going to hurt the vehicle to get the oil changed every 3,000 miles. It'll hurt your pocketbook, but it's not going to hurt the vehicle. In reality, no. Your best guide for oil changes is going to be your owner's manual that came with the car. Typically, 7,500 miles is how long a car can go between oil changes. If it's a synthetic oil, it could possibly go any longer. And most oil today is either a synthetic blend or it is a full synthetic, so you don't need to change your oil every 3,000 miles to get maximum life.
But Brian advises you get in the habit of checking your oil level every so often just to make sure it's right where it should be. And speaking of oil changes, getting them done is important because it indicates when you should consider another form of maintenance.
The rule of thumb is you should rotate your tires every other oil change. And some of them rotate front to back, some do crisscross. That's going to be in your manual. But it's important just so that there's even wear on the tires.
Something else many of us may hear often: let your engine warm up for a few minutes before driving in cold weather. Does it really make a difference?
Maybe 30 or 40 years ago that might have been somewhat of a fact. The bottom line is that because most automobiles now are fuel injected and the whole design again is different, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're basically going to take to get the vehicle up to operating temperature. You're going to do more to warm up your vehicle driving it than you are just setting and idling. So you're wasting gas, you're putting smoke in the air needlessly, so you don't need to do a 15, 10-minute, 20-minute warm-up period anymore.
Now let's talk the tread on your tires. Should you really put your safety in the hands of the almighty penny?
All right, Brian, so we often hear when it comes to the tread on our tires that there's the penny test. Is it fact or is it a myth?
No, it's fact. It comes down to you put a penny in there and you see where the tread is touching the top of Lincoln's head, then you're at the minimum spec for tire. You've got enough tread on this tire to continue to ride on. However, for safety purposes, for maximum stopping ability, most people are saying, you know what, you should stick a quarter in there because it actually doubles the tread length requirements. And if it's not touching the hairline of Washington, then you probably should replace these tires. Again, maximize your stopping ability.
Something else that's probably come up in conversation: don't let your gas tank get too low when the weather gets really hot or cold.
Well, pretty much all now, fuel pumps are actually in the tank. They're electronic pumps inside of the tank. So in the summer months, as an example, if you let your fuel get too low, you're causing it to work a little harder, but plus that fuel acts almost like a coolant for the pump, so it can overheat if you always keep your level too low. In the wintertime, if you keep your gas below a quarter of a tank a lot, and at $3.60 a gallon, some people will do that. Again, you can cause moisture just because of nature to get in the fuel tank. That can get in your fuel lines, and then when it's really cold, you can end up having a problem with frozen fuel lines. So it's important to keep your gas level over a quarter of a tank minimum, but usually half or more is where it should be.
And what about the fluids in your car, such as antifreeze?
Always pay attention to levels because leaks can occur to cause you to lose antifreeze. So it's always important to check your fluid levels when you get your oil changed, also when you're getting fuel. But antifreeze, again, most of it is now much longer life than it used to be. You can usually go 4 to 5 years without a change, but when you start reaching that time period, breakdown is going to occur naturally with the chemicals that are in it.
As for Brian's biggest piece of advice, we should all be paying closer attention to the manufacturer's manual that comes with your vehicle. You know, the one we often put in our glove compartment and rarely look at. That will tell you what sort of maintenance you should be doing and when.
Follow the manual and get regular maintenance. It's like eating right and exercising. If you just do those things and just watch out for things, because things can break. An alternator can go bad, you didn't expect it to go bad. But just taking care of the little things, your tire pressures, your oil changes, inspections, your car's going to last a whole lot longer.
And we all want our car in the driving game for the long road ahead.
And something else to keep in mind, Brian says routine maintenance on things like belts, hoses, tires, and suspension will help catch an issue before you have to find out the hard way.